Back-to-back Premier League scalps as well for Plymouth. Remember, they put Brentford out in the third round. Now they've beaten Liverpool as well. Absolutely sensational. I was interested to hear Harvey Elliott saying that he didn't think it was a penalty. You know, his hands were way above his head, weren't they?
Most blatant penalty, you'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. Plymouth fans will have been out celebrating all night, no doubt. Let's take a quick call, actually, from a Plymouth fan. Carl, good morning to you.
Good morning, Carl.
Good morning, Gab. Good morning, Jeff. I wanted to speak to you both.
Oh, thank you, mate. How's the head this morning?
Oh, I'm still over the moon. The biggest win I've ever seen. Lost work. Liverpool didn't turn up at all.
Did you think the players for Plymouth looked at Liverpool's lineup and thought, all right then, you know what, we can beat these. So many changes. Yeah,
and I think that's down to the manager since Wayne's left. I think the new manager has created a new atmosphere, a new philosophy, and I've got a very sore head this morning.
Hey, Carl, I've been to Home Park a few times. What was the atmosphere like, especially in the dying minutes?
Absolutely electric. I nearly couldn't look at the last few minutes. And I don't know where they got the 9 minutes from. It seems to be every time Liverpool are behind, they seem to add on a bit more few minutes. But anyway, who do we want next? Man United, please?
Okay, at home, no doubt. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, obviously.
Hey, Carl, it was a great day for Plymouth. I'm glad you enjoyed it, mate. Thanks very much for the call.
Thanks, James. It's an honour.
Thank you, mate. Well, let's get more on Plymouth stunning Liverpool and the rest of the weekend's action with SGA Sports Journalist of the Year and co-host of the Sunday edition, Henry Winter. Morning, Henry.
Good morning, Henry.
Morning, Jeff. Morning, Gabby. What a day for the Cup.
Yeah, what a day for the Cup. What a weekend it was, wasn't it? Phenomenal. I'll tell you what, a lot of eyes were raised, weren't they, when Plymouth appointed their new manager, but it's turning out to be spectacularly successful. He is a pretty inspirational character.
And he's recruited well in the window. You look at some of the defenders that he's brought in, and they look like they've been there for 4 or 5 years, building up relationships with their colleagues. And they just put their bodies on the line. They were losing teeth, they were spilling blood at some point. I mean, they just gave everything. And look, Slot absolutely played into their hands. I mean, Gabby, you've been in a dressing room, you'd have seen a team sheet come in or heard a whisper of the opposing team, and that would have done was literally his team talk for him.
100%. And as a player, if you're a player at Plymouth, you're like, all right then, you know what, some of these players haven't played much football, I'm going to get at them. I'm going to get after the back four, the makeshift back four. Chiesa's not played much football. Let me see if he likes it. Plymouth away. Let's give him a bit. Do you know what I mean? Be a bit more physical. And that's what they did. And an outstanding result.
It should still have been a good enough side to beat Plymouth, though, shouldn't it, Henry? When you think that, Diaz started, Jota started, Nunez came off the bench. Lots of players who've been in and around the first team, Harvey Elliott and Quansah and Kelleher and Tsimikas. They were all playing, so it should have been good enough.
Yeah, I think Slot, who's not put a foot wrong this season. I think maybe he will have looked at that and thought, well, he and Richard Hughes have got some work to do in terms of strengthening the squad in the summer, because clearly some of them weren't up to it. I mean, they got some good kids coming through. I thought the real mistake was that he didn't have the cavalry on the bench.
Yeah.
I think if you're in a situation like that at 70 minutes, 1-0 down, if you look to the bench and you can bring Salah on, I know they've got a huge game in midweek and they've got big games coming up, but if you could have brought Salah on, if you could have brought Virgil van Dijk on to calm the defence, the midfield, the engine room, I thought just absolutely lacked energy. But also, let's praise Plymouth. Let's praise their fans. Let's praise the importance of the EFL and these communities. There's such pride in these clubs. There's such pride in the community, and you saw that with their players. This was their chance. I mean, this is, we're discussing it here. This is being discussed in New Zealand. It's being discussed in America. It's being discussed all over the world. Plymouth don't really need to be put on the map, certainly not from an American perspective, because they all started out there. But in fact, it's huge for them, and a mistake by Slot.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. But, the magic of the cup is the cliche, 100%. Isn't it?
Yeah. Henry, I want to ask you about VAR offsides this weekend. The Maguire one, for me, I just couldn't believe that. The linesman was right in line with it. How can you not see that? Blackburn's disallowed goal in the first half. He was onside for that. Is it a problem that we haven't got it for the cup, or do some people just say this is what football's about? Sometimes you get decisions wrong.
I thought there were 5 decisions over the weekend. You could look at Lamptey's handball, Willock, obviously, Willock's shot, whether it's over the line, that was as much a sort of goal line technology. I think it's split into 2 camps, Gabby. You're either all about unconfined joy or you're about accuracy and justice. I mean, I go back to, look, I mean, you can go back to the hand of God, but I go back to Paris in 2009 when I was covering the Irish game there, because England already qualified for 2010, and the Thierry Henry handball. And that is what that's what VAR should be there for the clear and obvious. I think the English have taken it too far and they've made it far more forensic. And they're sort of, they're checking everything. Yeah. It's almost like they've got sort of CSI detectives around just checking everything. But use it for clear and obvious, and then I think it works well. But I think, there were 5 incidents over the weekend, which probably highlighted why we do need VAR. Plus, we live in a technological age. So, it's here to stay. Let's use it properly.
Yeah, we do. But clubs like Leyton Orient, for example, they've not got VAR at their ground. Doncaster Rovers the same this evening as well. It's difficult to argue the case of having VAR for certain games, but not for others. Just a quick one on Villa and Spurs, Henry, because I've got a text in from Ben from Birmingham. Says, brilliant to see what the FA Cup was about this weekend. He said, on another note, I had the strangest dream that Rashford and Asensio played for Villa yesterday. Oh, wait, they actually did. And that's pretty exciting if you're a Villa fan, isn't it?
Very exciting. It shows the quality of their recruitment. They looked at 2 players who were sort of out of sorts at their club, and PSG and Manchester United, and they thought, right, they can do a job for us. You saw a different Rashford there. You saw him pressing. Obviously, he wants to make a impression. This is a wonderful opportunity for both players, and I hope that they see it. And I think you saw the quality in Rashford yesterday. There were some neat little touches. Yeah. He needs to get back up to pace. Asensio to a certain extent, but you saw with that back flick, that heel from Asensio, what sort of quality they've got. And they're going to need players like that, particularly if Watkins is not fully fit. Duran's gone as well. So, Gabby, you must be absolutely delighted. But I think it also shows, when you've got a manager of the quality of Unai Emery, players respond.
Yeah, I think he can attract top players, can't he? And you're looking at yesterday, Watkins is out. Obviously, Duran's been sold. And you're bringing on Asensio and Rashford. Villa got 7 injured first-team players out as well. So we've got injury problems. But I want to flip it because I'm enjoying Villa. Well, Henry, talk to me about Spurs. Their fans, how much more can they take?
Not a lot. And when you start turning against the chairman, it tends to work out badly for the manager. I mean, that's the history of football. But look, you can get rid of Postecoglou. He'll probably last until the summer. They'll make a change there. You could even change the chairman, although that's highly unlikely. Daniel Levy's been there since 2001. But you know what? We've been following Spurs a long time. You guys know the club. This is a cultural problem at the club, a lack of a winning mentality. You could argue that their most consistent winning team was the 81 to the 84 team, which climaxed with the UEFA Cup. It's a cultural problem at Spurs, not simply a problem with a manager who, for me, looks a bit of a spectator on the touchline. I thought his agenda-driven comments afterwards were bizarre and probably lost him sort of 1 or 2 of the remaining friends. But also, if you lose 11 players, you have to take that into account. There has to be some sympathy for him. But it's a deeper problem than Postecoglou and Daniel Levy at Spurs.
Henry, thank you very much indeed.
Top man, Henry.
Pleasure. Have a good week, guys.
Thank you, pal.
You too,
mate.
Don't forget, you'll hear more from Henry every Sunday from 9 when he's alongside Sean Custis on the Sunday edition. Couple of quick thoughts. John, the Millwall fan, says, morning all. Can I just say that football is so much better without VAR? I think you're echoing the views of a lot of football fans there, John. And Andy says, for the so-called Big Six out of the FA Cup at this stage, has that ever happened before? The other Premier League sides cannot be resting players in the next rounds now. No. Villa, Newcastle, Bournemouth, etc. might never get a better chance to win it. You are absolutely
Can I just say as well,
Andy.
I think Henry's sick of me because whenever I've got something I need to know about to do with football, I'll send him a WhatsApp. I'll be like, sorry, mate, it's me again bugging you. I wanted to find out how many players Villa can register for the Champions League, new players. And straight away gives me a detailed analysis on WhatsApp. You can have 3 players. And I'm thinking, Marlon's going to miss out or Garcia's going to miss out. But what a legend Henry Winter is.
Yeah, and Gabby, that's what makes you special because you do your research, I hope you pay him for it, though.
No, I haven't. I have to get a bottle of wine, I reckon.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.